down to this, guys. The last match, Game 7 between KT Rolster and the Jin Air Green Wings. It is going to be Zest versus an unnamed Jin Air player. We have yet to find out who it is. You may catch a peek of him down there in the bottom left.
Yeah, we know who he is now. It's Rogue. He's coming out, and they didn't use him on Arena. They chose to try to PvP there. They failed, and now Rogue will have to come out on Dusk Towers. Our final map here. A cheer from the crowd. 3-2 this season. Not the best record compared to what he's shown us in some previous seasons where he was top 5, top 6, in the winners ranking even.
I think he started off with 2 losses too. I think he's on more of an upswing now. But is he ready to fight Zest in Game 7 on Dusk Towers? After Zest has won 2 games? I mean, I don't know, Matt. It's their last chance. They got to take out this guy if they want any hope of getting to the finals.
Zest, 6-2, #1 in winners ranking, 2 kills in a row. He wants to go for his 3rd, and he will take this series if he wins it. It's all down to this. It becomes a best-of-1, winner take all. The winner of this last and 7th game on a repeat map, Dusk Towers, will advance to the finals on Saturday versus SK Telecom T1.
This is what it all comes down to, guys. They are in the lobby. Both Rogue and Zest have to take the win for their team. Let's jump into game number 7 on Dusk Towers right now. Bottom left in the green for the Jin Air Green Wings, their color. It is Rogue.
And up to the top in red, it is Zest. Bringing KT to the 7th game. 1 win to go for both teams. It all comes down to this.
Game starts off quiet, no big rushes, and the tension is real.
Zest is best.
Yoshina. It's like, of course. It's the way it always is. Zest is best. He'll definitely be the best if he can win tonight and then show up on Saturday.
I think with Flash's retirement, Zest has jumped up to the #1 spot on the KT Fangirl list very quickly.
Yeah, I think that's true. No surprise there.
Oh man, who do you favor here? I gotta ask. As things are still warming up here.
You know, I think Rogue has got a chance, but I have to give this one to Zest. I'd say it's like 60-40 in my mind. Maybe even 65-35.
I was literally going to say for me it's 65-35 Zest.
Yeah.
I think I would have given it, a much smaller chance to Zest, like maybe 55-45 to him on Arena versus Rogue. But we're on a more standard map now. A much larger map, which means that Zerg attacks, which this map is, in the past, Zerg always had to deal with the Protoss timings, the Protoss all-ins, the Protoss aggression, but now it's like the Zerg who has to be the attacker in this matchup oftentimes with Hydras, Ravagers, then later on Lurkers, sieging up, being aggressive. The further away the Protoss is, I think it's better for the Protoss a lot of the time in the mid-game, so I don't like this map as much for Rogue.
Yeah, you get a lot of room in the middle of the map to force the Lurkers to siege up and then back off, force them to siege up, back off. You get a lot of opportunities to snipe units. The 4th base is very far away for the Zerg if they want to take the one that doesn't have the high ground. If they do take the one that has the high ground, Stalkers can get up there with the Blink very easily, begin to harass your mineral line. It's very annoying. And yeah, I think it's much easier for the Protoss to hold to the 3rd base with the high ground as well. Get an observer over there. Should be fine. Add a cannon, even a pylon, mothership core, keep it over there. You're going to be defending anyway.
Comes that 3rd base drone. Gonna plant that Stargate on the way for Zest.
Yeah, pretty standard in this matchup. Want to get those Phoenixes out very fast. You snipe the any why can't I? Overseers, overlords
right,
on the map.
Clear them up.
Jeez.
And then, you know, from there, obviously you can harass any gases that are on the edge of the spore crawlers. You shut down the potential for mutas, and you go into, later on, of course, your robotics tech, double Robo Immortal. Sometimes double Stargate Phoenix, depending on the situation, but I don't think this is going to call for it. I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of room to move around with those Phoenixes, of course, but generally you're okay as long as you have a pylon down here and a couple of adepts. You can defend the third base, get that out very fast. And especially on a map like this, it's going to take forever for Rogue to go over there. He's making a Baneling nest.
And an Evo chamber. Is that Baneling drops, I smell?
I think that has to be, Wolf. That's the only thing I can smell.
This is pretty rare. I mean, insanely rare, in fact, in StarCraft 2 history. In Legacy of the Void, it's much more doable, of course, because you can just simply get drops based off of the Evolution Chamber alone. This was one of the supreme candidates, though, for a drop, this Overlord, and it's going to be killed. These 4 Lings are trying to like sneak over to the 2 new Overlords that are coming over now next to the base. One's already morphing. The other one is trying to draw the Phoenix away.
Yeah, this is the distraction Overlord, and I mean, is this going to pay off? You're going to lose 2 Overlords for this?
And you had to build a Baneling nest. You had to, you know, buy Banelings. He's going for 2 of them at the same time.
It's going to come from 2 sides. This is going to be so interesting. Maybe he can catch the probes as they transfer to the third base. He must have worked this timing out. And now we're beginning to realize why he's coming out on this map. I mean, this is not standard, right?
No. The Lings, or rather the Phoenixes are going to catch another Overlord here. And Zest is probably like, wow, I guess he's just really misrallying these.
So I guess he's really nervous, right?
Double Robo on the way. Here comes the first one to the right side. The one towards the main is coming up at the same time. Phoenix is totally out of position to defend. He's got Queens over here.
Yeah, some Queens, some Spores coming down. Phoenix is totally out of position. He could decimate the economy here with one fell swoop.
Here we go. Here comes the one at the back, and here comes the one in the main. 1, 2, 3. Down go the Banelings. 1, 2, and 3, 12. And in the main base, 18 probes killed.
18 probes just like that, down to 33 probes is Zest.
And
unbelievable. You never see that.
Things change in a flash here in this series. A pylon will get sniped here as well, and the Lings are going to run away. Suddenly, those 2 Robos that finished, I bet he probably wishes he canceled one of them. He can't afford to use those. Making a cannon as well on the main base. He's scared.
Yeah, Rogue has just so much control of the game now. Look at that backdoor base, not even mining, basically. Third base has got some saturation, but he's forced to make 3 probes at a time and barely squeak out anything else with this kind of economy.
You never expect something like this, especially when you're going for a Phoenix build and you've already killed so many Overlords. The last thing you're worried about is drops.
Yeah.
This is so well executed.
That was masterful from Rogue. Take notes, you Zerg players. Now he's going to drop 4 Lings.
I think he might morph those into Banelings before he drops again. He did pick them up in Ling mode, of course. A Nidus network coming up now as well. You know, this game is definitely not over by any means. I mean, Zest took a huge hit to his economy, but he is recovering.
Nidus is so smart. He's going so many Phoenixes on the map, and with decimating the economy there, he's not going to have any units there as he gets his economy back online. He's got 1 Zealot and 3 Adepts, 1 Stalker, and 5 Phoenixes. If he can get a bunch of Queens out and Nidus them over.
He's also keeping this a secret. Look at this. Like, he's basically just scaring the hell out of Zest right now with these drops, pulling his Phoenixes away. Here comes a Nidus in the main base. Roaches are not going to have speed, but there's going to be so many Queens to keep this alive. Like you said, very few gateways. He's making those overcharged pylons here. This could absolutely work. Lings, meanwhile, taking away that third base economy.
Here come the Queens, and the Phoenixes are not in position, can't get close, trying to go for the lifts now, lifting a bunch of the Queens, but the Queens on the ground have the energy. Transfuse is going down, and the probes come off the line.
He needs more overcharges, but he loses the mothership core. He only has 1 pylon overcharged. Probes are going down. I think Rogue is actually going to take this. I think he's done it.
2 Immortals do pop out, and the probes are getting into the fight now. But is it enough? I don't know. Trying to focus down the Immortals. The barriers go off.
Here come those barriers. Indeed, they're off now, though. He's trying to hold this, but look at the supplies. 122 to 49 right now. And even if he survives, he has no economy behind this. I think Rogue has actually just doomed him here. He's done it. He's done the trickiest, sneakiest build you could ever think of.
What is this, Wolf? He's going to win like this?
3 Lings, 3 Lings over there, or 4 Lings killing that Nexus at the third base. And that's all she wrote. Zest, it's back in the chair. GG! Rogue! Baneling drops into Nidus in the main.
Totally dismantles Zest there, and that's the victory for Jin Air. They will move on to our Saturday. Oh.
Doing another one of his little ceremonies.
Oh,
and that means Jin Air will have the rematch of last season's finals on the Saturday, as you just mentioned, for the playoffs finals for round 1. What a well-executed build. It all makes sense now why they didn't use him till the end.
You can't pull off a build like that on Arena, that's for sure. You need a giant map like Dusk Towers. You need the Overlord speed early on. You draw the Phoenixes out of position. This is so standard in the PvZ matchup, rather, that he just designed this build as a sniper build for a best of 1 in this series particular, and he wins with it. It's unbelievable.
Really, really smart play. Poor Zest, man. He tried to carry his team on his back, but I will say this only one more time before we go into round 2. The lack of depth in KT's roster, basically how obvious it is what they're going to do and who they're going to play in these matchups, I feel like really, really hurts them. And I think that's part of the reason why we had these, these wins here for Jin Air.
Yeah, it's plagued them for a long time. Back in 2015, like no really strong Zerg player. 2014, they had like Action,
Yeah.
And so teams were able to counter them like that. Rogue comes out here, he's like, I know Zest is going to be the last guy. Look at their lineup. Okay, prepare a build on Dusk Towers. You're our last hope.
Yeah, it's like...
Pull this off. We know it's going to be him.
Yeah, Zest, TY, and Stats, the 3 players they rely on every time. The 4th player's always been the missing link. Last season it was Flash. The season before that was Flash sometimes, and Flash was actually winning games for some of the time.
Yeah.
But Jin Air has overtaken them now, guys. I feel like there's no mistaking it. The top 2 teams in Korea right now are no longer KT and SKT. It's SKT and Jin Air Green Wings.
That's what it is for now, at least. And we see here the results of tonight. Maru taking 3 wins, taking out Stats and TY. 2 of the bullets in the gun of KT Rolster. Leenock goes down to him as well. And then Zest takes 2, but then gets sniped on Dusk Towers by Rogue.
Very well played, and there you have it.
Yeah. Forgot to mention Stats beats SOS in the PvP to start the night.
Yeah, and that was really important because if he hadn't done that, things could have turned out totally different. SOS is such a momentum-based player and would have maybe even gotten multiple kills himself.
Well, let's see